Guys, what is going on in hip hop? We have never seen this in history where diss tracks keep leaking and no one knows if they're real or if they're AI. So if you haven't been keeping up, this weekend, a Drake song mysteriously just leaked online where he was dissing Kendrick, Future, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, and The Weeknd. And at first, everyone was confused whether or not it was AI because the sound quality was very low. Then it was confirmed to be a real song, and Rick Ross even came back with his own diss track where he claims that Drake had a nose job. He claims that Drake sent a cease and desist to French Montana, and he's basically insulting Drake for getting plastic surgery and being white. Now, since then, we haven't heard a thing from Kendrick until earlier today when a new diss track dropped where Kendrick is seemingly responding to Drake and J. Cole. So to backtrack even further, J. Cole dropped an official diss track aimed at Kendrick where he insults Kendrick's catalog of albums, and then just 2 days later, he apologizes for even thinking of dissing Kendrick. Now, this new Kendrick diss song that just leaked today is basically responding to that and directly taking aim at Drake. However, no one knows if this is AI or if this is really Kendrick. And it's crazy because a year ago, we didn't even have AI that was advanced enough to imitate the voice of different artists. Now AI is so strong that you don't even know if it's your favorite rapper rapping or if it's just some random guy in his basement who put Drake vocals on top of his raps. But tonight, we got confirmation from people inside of Drake's camp, people associated with Drake. They basically said that this is indeed a real Kendrick verse and that it's not AI. And Drake is pretty much backing up this statement because when an affiliate in his OVO camp posted this diss track, Drake commented a laughing emoji on it, basically confirming that it is a real song. Now, I gotta be honest, if this is really Kendrick's response, Drake definitely won this first round, and I'm surprised because I thought Kendrick would wipe the floor with him easily. Now, again, we still don't know for sure that this isn't AI. Kendrick's team is claiming that it is AI. Drake's team is claiming that it is not AI. But let's dive into some of the lyrics in this song and kind of see who got the upper hand in this first round. Was it Kendrick or was it Drake? So the song is called One Shot, and in the first couple of bars, Kendrick is saying, "I dominated your favorite rapper you idolized. My silence is enough to make rappers apologize." Retracted statements, Cole saying he regretted his lyrics. MCs die when you revive a competitive spirit. So like I was saying before, this is in relation to J. Cole dissing Kendrick, basically saying that Kendrick's catalog puts people to sleep. His last album was tragic, saying he could destroy Kendrick. Then 2 days later, at his Dreamville festival, he gets on stage and apologizes and says he loves Kendrick, says that Kendrick's initial verse on Like That was a bazooka, basically bigging Kendrick up and saying he wants no smoke, and he apologizes and hasn't really felt well since he dropped that diss. So Kendrick's response to Cole is basically just saying, like, me being here in silence is enough to get you guys so scared that you start apologizing for what you said and regretting even coming at me. Then he goes on to say, how to kill a rapper, let them do it to themselves. Self-inflicted career moves that fear helped. Dropping nukes, surprise moves, hiding respect. They promised me my death, now they deleting threats. So again, some more bars coming at Cole, making fun of him for, apologizing. Now, these bars definitely sound like Kendrick bars. These don't sound like AI. If you go back and actually listen to the song, it sounds like a song Kendrick would have released in 2013. It literally sounds like Control Part 2. The cadence is the same. The vocal inflections, the voice he's using sounds like that 2013 Kendrick. Even the beat sounds like something Kendrick would have rapped over in 2013. Now, J. Cole is obviously a very easy target in this whole thing because he just kind of backed out of this fight. And so while these bars, they're worded nicely, they sound good, but J. Cole is an extremely easy target because he backed out. So these bars aren't menacing enough. They're not devious enough to really put any sort of dent in J. Cole's armor that he didn't already put in himself at this point. He's basically just stating the obvious that J. Cole dissed him and then apologized. He keeps going on about J. Cole saying, one rapper dead, laid on the floor, and I didn't even have to throw bullets to let him go. Now that we got that out of the way, it's one more to go. Stop wasting time. Let's get the show on the road. Basically, he's getting Cole out of the way and he's about to come at Drake. When you actually get into what he's saying here about Drake, I gotta be honest, it's not that impressive. Not for Kendrick standards. And considering what Drake dropped this weekend, or the diss track that leaks from Drake, it's a much better response than this, especially considering the fact that Drake had to go up against, 3-4 different rappers all at once? Like, the diss track that Drake dropped there was much more respectable than this, if this is real. When the Drake diss track first leaked, I was saying that it was nice, but I was very confident that Kendrick can definitely outdo it. But if this is his response, I gotta be honest, this is not topping what Drake did on his diss track. But let's keep going. Kendrick basically starts saying, rappers was ignore and repeat disses, and when they can't respond, they entertained it and sneak disses. This is, in response to Drake for the last 10 years constantly sneak dissing Kendrick. But really, this kind of applies to both of them, right? If you guys weren't aware, ever since Kendrick dropped the Control verse in 2013, where he called out the entire rap game, him and Drake Drake have kind of had like this subliminal war against each other for like 10 years where they both come at each other subliminally. They don't call each other out by name or even reference, very specific things where you would know that they're dissing each other. But if you really dissect the lyrics, there's little things like in Drake's song, The Language, he says, I don't know why they've been lying. Your stuff is not that inspiring. That's in relation to, Kendrick making inspirational music, but Drake's just saying like, it's not that inspirational. There's little sneak disses like that they've had against each other. So Kendrick's basically referring to this in this track by saying when they can't respond, they entertain it with sneak disses. When Drake can't, actually come at Kendrick, he resorts to just sneak dissing him in a bunch of songs. Then he goes on to say, and now that it's direct, it's leaked disses from burner pages and all. So that's in relation to now that there's actual direct beef between us because of the verse I did on Metro Boomin's album. Now you're resorting to leaking your diss tracks instead of just dropping them. Now, I also said in a previous video, this was kind of weak on Drake's part if he did actually leak this song, because it shows that you're not confident enough to put your name on it directly. You'd rather leak it, see the public perception of it, and then claim that it actually is real instead of just, coming out and dropping it. So Kendrick goes on to say, insecure behaviors from rappers y'all call gods. I know that you were sensitive, an emphasis on lame, seeking validation from rap critics, slandering names, legacy forever submitted, I will reign. The next move, make your best move, it's detrimental. Grab your Glocks when you see K Dot. This is like, he's trying to interpolate Tupac's Hit 'Em Up here. This is the whole diss track basically. All he's saying here is like, okay, finally after years and years of sneak dissing me and subliminally dissing me and being too afraid to call me out by name, now that I kind of called you out by name on that Metro Boomin album, J. Cole is apologizing and you're, leaking your diss tracks. And it shows that you're insecure because you're leaking your diss tracks instead of actually just coming at me directly. And, people call you a god. People call you the best rapper right now, but really, you're just displaying a lot of insecure behavior. That's all Kendrick's really saying in this diss. And honestly, that's not enough to, defeat what Drake actually put out. Even if he, leaked his diss track this weekend, that diss track was a lot better than what Kendrick's saying here. There was a lot more in that from Drake. Drake was going at Kendrick basically saying that his label owns 50% of all his profits. He was saying that he gets more love in Kendrick City than Kendrick gets. He was saying that, he's a king and Kendrick's his son. Like, go back and listen to that Drake song and then put it up against this and you'll see like Drake went a lot harder at Kendrick. And he didn't just go at Kendrick, he went at 4 different rappers. Like, he was definitely the underdog in this situation and said things that were a lot more harder hitting, a lot more, staining to Kendrick's career. Obviously, it wasn't something that could, destroy Kendrick's career. He was just basically saying that, Kendrick's getting ripped off by his record label. He can't compete with Drake. Drake is number one, whatever. That's just kind of in summary of everything. But what ultimately Drake was saying in his diss track that leaked this weekend was a lot stronger and a lot harder hitting than what Kendrick had to say here. All Kendrick was basically saying was that Cole apologized. That just leaves him and Drake. Drake has been, subliminally dissing him for the last 10 years. And now he's kind of insecure to, come face to face at him. And, now the battle has started. Just basically saying that like Drake has been ultimately scared of him and he has no choice now but to kind of man up and go against him. And I think Drake kind of showed this weekend that he's ready for that. He wants all the smoke. He's coming at everyone. If this is Kendrick's response and this isn't AI, because there's still a possibility it is, but if it isn't, this is a lot weaker than what Drake said to Kendrick. Kendrick didn't say anything about Drake. And the craziest thing is Kendrick has a lot of dirt he can kind of come at Drake with. Drake has had very weird allegations against going after younger women. He, has had all of his personal relationships have all been publicized for everyone to see. His relationship with Rihanna, his relationship with his baby mother, who was an ex-porn star, his relation to Serena Williams. Like, a lot of Drake's private life is laid out on the table and is perfect for Kendrick to use as ammo against him. But he decided not to, if this is a real diss track. And, it's possible that Kendrick just kind of had his ego a bit inflated because of the positive reception to his verse on Like That. And it's just very possible that maybe Kendrick got a little bit ahead of himself and thought this battle would be so easy, because in the past we've seen a lot of rappers apologize to Kendrick for coming at him. We've seen Big Sean apologize. We saw J. Cole apologize. We've seen Jay Electronica, Lupe Fiasco apologize. And maybe that's kind of inflated Kendrick's ego and made him think, he's untouchable. And because of that, maybe he's not coming at Drake with something that's hard hitting enough. Because if this is real, again, this is not good enough. It's just not to Kendrick's standards, not to really anyone's standards. Like, I haven't heard a diss track this week since Meek Mill's response to Drake's back-to-back. I really hope this is fake. I really hope this is AI. If not, this is disappointing, man, because I thought Kendrick would eat Drake alive, no Diddy, and I thought that this would be an easy matchup for him. But turns out maybe it's not. not. And I gotta hand it to Drake. I gotta give him that respect that he didn't just come at Kendrick, he came at the entire rap game basically, and he's not backing down. And I hope Kendrick doesn't either. I really hope this is fake, and I really hope that we get something a lot stronger from Kendrick, because I know with Kendrick's rapping ability and with all the dirt that he could probably garner on Drake that's just publicly available, just public information on Drake, just with that alone, Kendrick can concoct a much stronger, harder hitting diss track than what just got leaked. Again, man, I hope this is fake. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I'll continue updating you on this whole thing. And, please don't say I'm glazing anyone. All right. I've seen that a lot in the comments. I'm not glazing anyone. All right. I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm keeping this objective. I personally think Kendrick can definitely, rip Drake apart. But ultimately, from what we've heard so far, whether it's real or whether it's AI, Drake has the upper hand here. Drake has dropped the better diss track. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And still excited to see how this goes down. And I really hope Kendrick comes with something stronger. And I think he will. I don't think he'll actually officially release this. I think he'll release something a lot better, a lot harder hitting that actually, attacks Drake's character. I have confidence that he will. And this was probably either just something that got leaked that Kendrick was maybe just working on, or maybe it is AI. Who knows? But it's scary how far AI has progressed that we don't even know what's real and what's fake anymore. And it just kind of puts a lot of smoke in the air on the validity to what these two rappers are saying. Because if public perception is bad on their diss track, they could just come out and say, oh no, it was AI. So it kind of sucks that we have that right now in a way, but I still think this battle will be super exciting. And let me know what you guys think. Will Kendrick destroy Drake, or is this it? And, he's going to take his L. Let me know in the comments.